And then they do these conferences for young people to get to know each other and maybe potentially get married. He definitely didn't plan to marry a white girl, did you, Liv? He's definitely told me he didn't. And I felt like John was the best looking guy there. I remember saying to my friends the night after the dance, like, guys, I really like him. I really like him. Hey guys, welcome to the vlog today. We wanted to sit down when we have a minute without our bigger kids and make a special video for you. We've got Raina here for your entertainment. Recently we were asked to speak at a church conference for young single adults. I shared our story of how we met, and so it kind of prompted this that we will sit and retell that story, if you haven't heard it before, of how we met.
We have done this before. We have a video of how we met on YouTube, but it's been a long time ago.
Yeah, and there's some things we wanted to add today that we might not have shared before. So yeah, let's tell the story.
Yeah. First off, it's over 11 years ago.
It is 11 years ago.
Actually, our anniversary is August 6th. And
so it's coming up.
It's coming up really close.
And so the whole thing from meeting to getting married was like 3 or 4 months. And so it was a really short courtship. I wouldn't even call it courting. I wouldn't call it dating because we never really went on a date. It was pretty much engagement and then marriage. So here is the story. So I was 18 years old. I had moved away from home and I was a nanny. I would live in nanny with a family. I took care of their kids. And I lived in North Dakota in the US, and John's family had moved to the US how many years before that?
I'm not sure.
Why is that so hard to calculate? It's okay. He had lived there for many years. He had served a mission for our church in California, and then he moved back to Minnesota where his family lived.
7 years.
7 years.
Actually, we're married 11 years.
And it's been 17 years.
Yeah, so 6 years.
6 years. 6 years.
This is the first young single adult conference that I attended after I came back from my mission, which is a 2-year full-time mission.
Yeah, and in our church we have a group called YSA, the Young Single Adult, that meet together. In some places go to church together, and then they do these conferences for young people to get to know each other and maybe potentially get married. Now, I did not go to this thing as an 18-year-old expecting to meet my husband, and did you?
No, it's the reason why I never went is because that wasn't my plan.
He definitely didn't plan to marry a white girl, did you, Liv? He's definitely told me he didn't want to. So I walk into the conference, and the first impression I have of him, the first time I see him, he was crying. And let me tell you why.
That wasn't crying. I was tearing up.
He had just gotten hit in the face with a dodgeball. So his face was red, his eye was watery, and he had the biggest Filipino smile on his face. He was just so happy.
That wasn't even the first time she came in. When you first came in, I was sitting on the stage. And I saw you, Crystal, and your 2 other friends came in. I remember you wearing this beautiful dress. I think it's white shirt or something. And your hair has like this, like the bangs thing. And like not quite short hair, but it's like short-ish.
If I have any pictures, we'll post them, but I think I lost them on my Facebook when it got hacked.
Anyways, but I was like, dang!
I almost don't even believe it, because I don't think you noticed me.
No! Trust me.
That's so
I was looking. I was hawk-eyeing everybody.
I remember seeing him then, and then I kind of kept my eye on him throughout the conference. I just thought he was a young guy. I thought for sure he was like 16 years old and that he wasn't supposed to be at this conference.
Yeah, so young single adult is basically ages 18 to 30.
And so I thought he was just there with a friend and like he was a teenager still. Or, you know, like a 16-year-old.
And I didn't know anybody there. I literally, like I said, I've attended some young single adult activities and things like that, but you know, I'm not really close with anybody.
So I just feel like that's really important to mention because it was just a miracle that we met, that you went to that, and so brave of you to go.
I was 24 at the time.
Yes.
So.
Well, wait. I didn't know that at the time. Let me tell you. We're gonna get to that. So I just thought he was young still. I do remember like seeing him at lunchtime. We had those tacos in a bag type thing. We still laugh about it now because to us that's like really gross. Well, to John. I shouldn't say that because Peyton's family fed us that before we left. John still is just kind of like, why are you guys eating that? It's getting hot in here now. We got the car off and the AC
let's try
off.
Turning it on.
AC break, aircon break. Here's the real moment when things started to happen between us. My friends, I was with a few girls and we were staying at a hotel, and we all decided for fun, like, let's invite all the cute guys and we'll have a hot tub party at our house. And so I wanted to invite John. So I saw him sitting on the stage. I walked over and I said, hey, and I got so nervous. I said, me and my friends are having a hot tub party, and do you want to come? And he was like, sure, let me get my bag. And he winked at me. He winked at me. Yeah, like I was all giddy, and I turned around and said to my friends, he said yes, he said yes. Anyway, at the time still, I just thought he was so young. I just want to be his friend. And so we did the hot tub party. The hot tub was cold, and we only had a few minutes to be there because we had to get ready for the dance that night. We got all pretty, you know, not handsome. We went to the dance, and I felt like John was the best looking guy there. I felt like all the girls thought he was that best looking and the most friendly and all of those qualities. And so just my immature 18-year-old self, I was like, I'm gonna make them work for him. Like, obviously nothing's gonna happen between us, but I'm gonna flirt with him and get in the way, so they have to like work for him. And so I did this weird cheesy thing. I like walked over to like get water and pretend to be like doing something to be close to him, and like he walked up to me with a cup of water, and I like, what did I do?
I was talking to somebody where the water is, so we're just talking, like, you know, and she walked up to us. She didn't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
And so I thought she was there for the water. I just like fill up the water and gave it to her.
Yeah.
And she grabbed it and then walked away.
Yeah, I'm just like, what do I do now? Oh, I didn't expect you to notice me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so then I like flirted with him during the night, and I wanted to dance with him a lot. And so
well, you danced with me because you're trying to avoid this one person.
hopefully they're not watching. But it's one of those things where you're not interested, and so I tried to always be like, hey John, come dance with me. So we would dance, and we didn't really talk. I felt like I couldn't understand him, but it was just a mind block of like, he has an accent, and so I can't understand it. But we were chatting, and this is when things got intense, okay? He mentioned that he served a mission. While he was on his mission, he said something like that, and I was like, wait, he's old enough to serve a mission? So I said, how old are you? And he said 24. And right then, something in my heart was like, well, I could marry him. He's old enough, and he's not what I thought. And so, wow, like all these good qualities, now I can think seriously about him. And so, we lived so far apart from each other, 5 hours.
6 hours away.
Until we went to dinner that night, kind of late at night. We all went as a group, and he sat in front of me at this table, and we were so dorky. We were texting under the table to each other, and I said to him, you know, I'm moving to Utah. I was all set to go down to Utah where my parents lived and go to school. I had already filled out my application and all of that. And so I was like, well, are you gonna come visit me? And just kind of joking. And he said, yes. And I was like, whoa, okay. Maybe he does want to consider this, so let's try it. And so he paid for my meal that night. So sweet. Even though we're not really on a date, I just thought that was like over the top for him to go pay for my food. And he laughs about that.
Yeah, because like you're supposed to.
That just shows that you thought we were on a date, and I figured we're out with friends.
I don't know. I just thought like not really on a date, but like you're with a beautiful girl. So you're supposed to like you're supposed to treat them.
Yeah.
Didn't I let you borrow?
Yeah, so it was cold. I think it was raining and kind of chilly outside. And I was like, oh, I don't have a jacket. And he ran to the car and he brought in his black jacket and gave it to me. And it was so sweet. And I was just like, ha ha ha. And that's when I saw that he drove a yellow car, which is hilarious and fun.
I miss
He misses that car. It's getting so hot again. Can we take an AC break? I'm sorry. Nakakapagod. I know the next day that we had church together and we took pictures before we left. We probably don't have those unless you have them on your Facebook.
No, I'm pretty sure I have a picture of Crystal and me.
Oh, cute! My friend. So then we went our separate ways, and
we were still texting.
Yeah, we were texting constantly. I remember saying to my friends the night after the dance, like, guys, I really like him. I really like him. And they were all like, oh, that's cute. Like, but that's kind of crazy. You know, you just met him. We texted, we became friends on Facebook, and then how we became boyfriend and girlfriend. He added me as in a relationship with Laura, and I was like,
remember that.
Yeah, you did that, like without saying anything. That's how you asked me to be your girlfriend. And so I'm like, okay. And then
and she said yes, so you know, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Really.
And then like we just chatted, and it was the next week he came to visit me. So he drove 6 hours, went to my sister's house, and we stayed the night there.
The thing is, that was the first time I actually went out
on your own to go anywhere.
On my own to go anywhere.
Wow.
I'd go to like Grand Forks, like an hour away. The nearest city where we live, to get, you know, to go to the store, to watch movies and things like that. But like to go out of the state, to go somewhere to meet a girl.
And so that brings up a really good point that we wanted to make in this video. So we're probably going to continue that story in like an engagement story, or like how we got married, stuff like that. And we'll stop with how we met there. But that's what we want to talk about, is how different that is from the Filipino culture that John, I pursued him. I picked him first of all. And then we had no courting, no dating.
Nope.
And it was over the phone for just like a couple days. And then it was, oh, let's get engaged, let's get married. What were you thinking? How did you go from like being raised in this culture where you court, you have long relationships usually, you ask your parents' permission and all of that. And how did you just like decide, oh, I'm just gonna marry her, I'm just gonna do this?
I don't know. It just felt right. I
There
just
we
went
go.
for it.
That's a simple answer. It felt right.
I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I mean, I thought about you a lot. It's not like my heart is breaking. Like, I just felt like this is the right thing to do. I won't say that I was so obsessed with you and stuff, but like,
I think it was like a really healthy relationship. Like,
yeah, I was like, I really like this girl and stuff, and like I like talking to her. But the thing though is like, it's not just me. Knowing Lora right now after 11 years, she is so different than that girl that came up to me and asked me to go out. Like, she would never do that. The 11 years that we're together, I've never seen her like actually approach somebody and be friend with somebody. Most of the time I would like convince her to like go talk to them.
I'm just really reserved. I like people and I like deep conversations and like close friendship. But I have a hard time just being outgoing and talking to random people. So that was really brave of me. And I feel like I just went through a phase at that time as an 18-year-old, kind of finding myself. And the Lord used it to bring us together, because that wouldn't have happened. It's just so crazy that you went to that conference for the first time. That I went, because I remember the first one wasn't like so great. The first one I went to, I had reservations about going to this one, and my friends talked me into it. So there's like so many little miracles that had to happen for us to meet, but we still don't believe that like we're destined to be together, or that we only had one person that was right for us.
I think Heavenly Father put us to the place where we could meet the one or that person should marry, or we could marry,
because we have so much in common and that we didn't even realize.
But the thing is, we don't have a lot of things in common.
I guess not, but our personalities mesh. That's what I mean. We're very different, but
yeah, it's, well, you know, like a magnet.
Anyway, so that is the story of how we met, with some fun facts in there. And let us know what surprised you and what you think about kind of, I don't want to say defying your culture, but just doing things differently.
Just to finish up, we basically got engaged after a week, and then we got married after 3 months.
But there's more to the story of the engagement, so let us know in the comments if you want to hear that story, or give this video a thumbs up so we know that you like it, because we'd love to share that with you, like more details, because it was really sweet. Anyway, so we will see you in our next video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave that comment down below, and we will see you next time. Bye!